Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, inshallah, we are going to start together the first lesson in chapter 5, sensitivity in plants. Plants do not like touch. This is something strange and surprising, but research proved that after touch, plants feel attacked and decrease their growth rates. As we know, plants are living organisms, and one of their characteristics is sensitivity. So, what is sensitivity? Sensitivity is the ability to respond to a stimulus. There are many stimuli that can affect a plant, including light, water, gravity, and touch. The plant receives a stimulus, recognizes it, and decides what to do, what to give in return, what response they have to show. And this response can be to open or close stomata, can be to bend towards or away the stimulus, can be to fold their leaflets and show sleep or touch movement. But we all know that plants do not have brain and cannot move. So how do they respond? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala equipped them with different mechanisms to show sensitivity function. We are going to study two main mechanisms: change cell turgidity and change distribution of auxins. Let us start with cell turgidity. What is meant by cell turgidity? Plant cell can control their cell turgidity. Turgidity means to be swollen and solid. And this is because that the cell vacuole in the plant cell is full of water, and it exerts pressure on the cell wall of the plant cell, causing plant cell to be solid and swollen, and finally the whole plant will be erect. What will happen in the opposite case means if the plant cell loses water, the cell vacuole shrinks, and the cell shrinks and there is no pressure exerted on the cell wall, so the cell becomes soft and flaccid. And the result will be that the plant will be wilting. To study this phenomenon, it is better to understand what is the structure of Mimosa plant. Mimosa plant has a compound leaf. It means that this together is one leaf, and it is made of many small leaflets. So all of these are small leaflets, and all of this structure is called leaf. So let us know exactly what is meant by compound leaf. This is a compound leaf, and this is a stem. The point at the connection between the compound leaf and the stem, there is a swollen part. We call it pulvinus. And this small stem or the center of the leaf, we call it rachis. The rachis is divided into smaller branches, and at each small branch there is another pulvinus, because it is in the second position. We call this primary pulvinus, and this is secondary pulvinus. This is logic. So you expect this one to be, thank you, tertiary pulvinus. Pulvinus acts as a joint. So this is a joint, here there is a joint, and here joint. So in this drawing, how many joints we can see? We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have here non-joints or non-bulbuni. When a pulvionus is touched, so this pulvionus number 8, this one for example, when it is touched, so let us get the first step, to touch a pulvionus. Okay, the pulvionus cell secretes a certain chemical. This certain chemical change the properties of the cell and allowing water to diffuse or to go outside the cell or to leave the cell. So the cells in the pulvionus lose water, and water moves to the neighboring tissues. Remember, when the cell loses water, it becomes turgid or flaccid. Thank you. It becomes flaccid. So this one will be flaccid, and the next one flaccid. And when this number 6, when it receives the chemical, it becomes flaccid, and so on. So as the chemical message is passing from a part to another part, all the cells in each pulvionus becomes flaccid, leading that the leaflets are folded upward, and the whole plant, the whole leaf, okay, drops down. So this drop like this, and they are folded upward and drop down, leading to this shape, which means sleeping, like this. The chemical message which is transmitted to the neighboring pulvinus is moving at a speed of 1 meter per second. So the chemical is moving at 1 meter per second speed. Does it make a difference if the stimulus touches the upper or the lower surface of the pulvinus? So if there is a difference, if you touch this part, upper or lower surface, of course for each pulvionus, the upper and the lower surface of the leaf. Does it make a difference? It is found that the lower surface is more sensitive than the upper surface, which means that if you want to observe this beautiful plant response faster, touch the lower surface. Now I'm expecting you to ask me a question. Why does this happen? Does the plant really sleep? Does the plant really feel shy? Scientists try to find this answer, and they reach some explanation. They said that perhaps by folding the leaves and reducing the surface area of their leaves, when the strong wind blows, the plant conserves water. Or perhaps because the collapse of the leaves exposes thorns. Here there are usually some thorns here, like spikes. Expose thorns on the stem, and the rapid response of the sensitive plant discourages the herbivorous, means the animal that feeds on the plant. So imagine with me, if an animal becomes closer to this plant and is ready to eat it, the plant is going to perform the touch response, okay? And the leaves are going to collapse very fast. This will discourage the animal and maybe frighten the animal, and the exposed thorn maybe will not allow the animal to touch the plant safely. Thank you very much, and we are going to meet together inshallah in the next lecture. Thank you.